Hello, welcome to Community Viewpoint for Monday, Valentine's Day, February 14th, 2011. I'm Maria Hurst.
And I'm John Pawlak, and we're here together for a change.
Yeah, it's nice to see you. How you been?
Better than the weather, I think. Well, no,
Yeah.
the weather's doing better now.
Yeah.
So,
It's not snowing, but all the snow was nice. But So we hope everybody is having a nice, pleasant Valentine's Day. Are you?
yeah. Or do you know what other day is today?
You're going to tell us.
I know. I was looking on MSN.com. I really wasn't looking for this, but this is
Sure.
this is National Condom Day. So, happy condoms.
Happy National Condom Day. I think that means that tonight, if you have a new Valentine, you probably should observe Valentine's Day with National Condom Day and practice some safe sex there.
Yes.
So, speaking of safe sex.
Public service announcement.
Yes. Speaking of that, I want to talk to you a little bit about the Community Health Nursing Program here in Pahrump and some vital services that they offer. They do offer services on a sliding fee scale to people that do not have insurance or who are underinsured. They offer immunizations, lead testing, hemoglobin checks for children and adults, flu vaccines. But one of the things I want to talk to you about tonight is the HPV vaccine, and it's called Gardasil. And it's now recommended for people from the age of 11 up to, I think it's 11 to 18. I didn't write that part down. But starting at the age of 11, boys and girls can get it. And what HPV is, it stands for human papillomavirus, and that is a virus that can lead to certain types of cancers and warts, which can lead to cancer. So if we can vaccinate all the children now, we can eradicate this pretty much. And it says, I'm just going to read you a little part of this, and this is like a really serious issue because this is something that can stop the spread of a type of cancer, which is really, really significant. Protection from HPV vaccine is expected to be long-lasting. Vaccinated women still need a cervical cancer screening because it does not protect against all HPV, but it does protect against most of them. And a lot of things can be helped by this. I'm losing my train of thought anyway. But it's good to get the vaccine when the kids are young. I know I got it for my daughter. All my friends got it for their kids, and it's a really good vaccine. I mean, you protect your child against chickenpox, MMR, the diphtheria, tetanus, meningococcal. There's all kinds of vaccines we want to protect from, polio, and if we can vaccinate all of our young adults with this vaccine, we can protect them from one more thing. So,
I feel sheepish now because I forgot to mention it these past months, but the flu virus or the vaccine for all the veterans, it's free in the afternoons. You just walk in over at the VA clinic.
Okay.
The season's almost over, but...
well, it's not too late to get it. I just got mine last week. I got my flu vaccine last week, and it didn't hurt one bit. And it's only, I think, it's $20, I think, you can just go in, make an appointment, or I think you could just go in and get one. And it didn't hurt at all. It was like a little sore the next day, but no big deal. And it was good. So it's not too late to get it, because those commercials that you see on the network stations, I got it, but I didn't get it, that's cute. It's a cute little slogan because it's true. Influenza is still around, and it's not a pretty sickness to get. So there's a lot of vital services that can be obtained at the Community Health Nursing Program, and I wanted to talk about this one tonight because I felt like it was really important. We have a lot of young people. There's a lot of young adults getting into things earlier than we would like them to, and if we can protect them against some of the things coming down the pike that they're going to be faced with. Excuse me. Take over just a second.
All right. What I'd like to speak to you about is tomorrow morning we'll have the Nye County Board of Commissioners meeting. Every 2 weeks we have the meeting. It'll be held here at the Calvada I. And I have one specific agenda item that I'm concerned about. It's a timed item, and I believe it's going to be around 10:30 in the morning. But it deals with, let me read to you the action item. It's going to be discussion, deliberation, and possible decision to improve a project for $50,000 for a law firm from Las Vegas to develop a strategic plan to acquire, rehabilitate, expand, and maintain water and sewer infrastructure in the Pahrump Regional Planning Area for Nye County.
That's good.
Well, yes and no.
Well, because in some parts, can I just ask, in some parts of town, isn't there trouble, like with the sewer and the drainage? Is that why they're bringing it in?
No, it has nothing to do with that.
Oh.
But there is some misinformation about the fact that we should have this study to see how our water systems, our wells are faring, because there's a lot of leakage from the septic fields into our wells, which is totally untrue, and it's not documented. And I was one of the people that I did most of the town of Pahrump with a wellhead protection plan back in 2006, and I also did Amargosa Valley too.
I remember when you did that.
And I found none of those issues then. I've seen no documentation to tell me that that's happening now from leach fields and septic tanks leaking into our wellheads. Mm-hmm. And so this is misinformation at a time when this is coming up for agenda item. Let's see what it says. This project includes a scope of work which includes, let me read this to you, review of all existing research, studies, and other documentation regarding water and sewer infrastructure for the Pahrump Regional Planning Area. And a lot of this has been done already. I know that because I did some of it. Mm-hmm. And
that was a comprehensive study too. So
it was
really in depth.
Because it was done under the auspices of Mr. Tom Bucco, mm-hmm. who I have the utmost of respect for. Unfortunately, he's gone, but he's looking down on us right now and wishing us well. And number 2, assist the county in developing a strategic plan to acquire, rehabilitate, expand, and maintain water and sewer infrastructure in the Pahrump Regional Planning Area. Identify state and federal statutes and regulations affecting implementation of the strategic plan. Recommend a course of action for compliance with statutes and regulations. Identify state and federal funding to assist in the implementation of the strategic plan. Identify other financing mechanisms, including general, local, and special improvement districts. Develop a list of options for implementing the strategic plan and make recommendations as to the appropriate entity to implement each option. And then finally, after those things are done, to help secure funding sources and help implement other financing mechanisms as directed by the county. This law firm will perform all of these tasks for a flat monthly retainer of $8,000 a month, beginning March 20 of 2011. There'll be $1,000 expenses per month. The firm will obtain prior approval before exceeding this limit. Hopefully they won't do that. What my concern is, a lot of these issues that they're going to be looking at they've been identified, they've been documented, and they are on record in different places. We have it at the library. Nuclear Waste Repository Project Office has most of those. It's on their websites. Department of Natural Resources, other places in town, you could find the documentations for that. And I'm all for looking at what's going to protect the area, but I don't want misinformation to drive something like this, like the wells are being contaminated, which they aren't, and I know that for a fact.
Are you thinking that this might be like a duplication of effort? Or
exactly, yes.
Okay.
And especially at a time like this, I have concerns when we have money issues and we're strapped and we can't find funds to do a lot of the things that we're doing. We're taking pay cuts. We're having shorter hours, a lot of our businesses. And to use this $50,000 It is a reputable firm and stuff, but I don't think this is the time or the place for something like that. And since this is community viewpoint, that's the point from this person in the community. But this will be at the commissioners' meeting tomorrow, and if you'd like to speak up about that, please do.
Is this study that they're going to do? Is this something that one of the committees could do? Because a lot of the people on the committees they're trained in this area. They've done a lot of research. Is it something that they could compile, or?
We have the expertise within Nye County. I have a list of people here are in some of the teams that are working for wellhead protection, and we have a water district here too in Nye County. We have the expertise here. We have lawyers here too, and this is, as you can see, is a touchy subject with me, trying to keep the money within the county, and I'm sure the commissioners are doing this for all the good reasons, but there's misinformation out there already why we should have this, and it's not their fault. But other people are saying that there is the leach fields are contaminating the wells, which they're not.
But the studies show that that's not true.
No, and I did the study. There's the
Let me go to the
Jeff. You see
go
the
to the
poster
visual.
over there? That's the one we did back in 2006. That's part of the poster that we put out there either on Earth Day or at the Fall Festival. So there's a lot of hard work that went into that for Tom Bucco and other people, and myself, and being part of that also. And there was a team that worked on that also. So,
if somebody wanted to find out more information for themselves, like say they've heard some of this misinformation, could they just go to the library and they can ask for this wellhead protection plan?
Oh,
they
my
can,
goodness, yes.
They can call the NWR, no, not NWRPO. NWR, or the
NWRPO, yeah.
Okay, they can call the NWRPO, and they're the Conservancy, no, just NWRPO.
We did have the grant. We got the grant money for that, but that's not necessarily that the Southern Nye County Conservation District is into right now.
Okay, so but the information is there. If somebody wants to try to get it, you can go to or somebody wants to get it, you can go to the library and just ask for it.
Yeah.
And look for yourself
In the
to make
reference
sure
area.
that it's safe.
Yeah, you could
that
see
those
for yourself.
wells are safe.
You could see the studies themselves, and you can see how much that's been done already. And I hate to duplicate things like that because
Right.
when it's not needed, and these are really bad times.
Right, especially when it's costing,
Nye County.
maybe it's not an astronomical amount, but it is a big chunk. Can I ask you, I don't know if this is playing devil's advocate, I'm not sure, but just
Go ahead.
asking, and maybe this doesn't even have anything to do with the subject, but if somebody is concerned that their well may be contaminating their property or something, what can they do? Who can they call to just make sure that their own well is protected?
Well, one of the groups is the NWRPO. They are monitoring wells throughout the area here. I have one. Just so happens I have one about 100 feet from my house that they put in there about 6 or 7 months ago.
Okay.
And I wasn't aware of it until I made some phone calls, and they told me what it was there for. So I feel very safe where I live because they tested the water quality. It's not documented right now, but they know the water that's there, and
They have the data within their office.
And my groundwater level hasn't gone down. It's gone up a foot, but that's something natural after you drill a well, they say, until the fluctuation stops. But
That could lead us into a whole nother subject with which we should talk about that in the coming weeks, and that is because it's getting a little warmer, people can work outside a little more, we should address the salt cedar issue again. So we'll talk about that in the future because
that's another thing we're
that's
trying real
huge
hard to keep
with the
some of
water
our
level.
grant money. I'm the chair of the Southern Nye County Conservation District this year, and grant money is drying up from the federal down to the state, from the USDA, and what gets divvied out to us, and we're hurting too.
Isn't the salt cedar situation? I hate to change tracks like that really quick, but isn't the salt cedar situation something that a homeowner could be proactive about to protect their own water level and for the good of all, I guess?
Well, that's what's going to come.
To just, rip it out. I had one in my yard. We ripped it out. those things are very, they do make an impact.
A mature tree from 10 to 12 feet tall will drink up about 100 to 200 gallons of water per day. That's 24/7. They don't.
And that's enough to sustain a household, a huge household for a day.
And it may come down to that education. During the Earth Day events, we bring the information out there, and also for the Fall Festival and Fair and Festival. We didn't have the booth this year, but hopefully next year, this coming year, we'll have it again. We have the literature out there also. With the Southern Knight County Conservation District, in past years, we've eradicated a lot of salt cedars up in the Beatty area.
Nice.
And this past year, we had monies to eradicate and pull out, basically mechanically, salt cedars down in this area here in the Prump area. So what's going to happen this year, we have to see what the funding is going to be. But it may come down to just the education to let the people know, don't be pruning them because they look so darn cute, because they are detrimental to the environment. Not only do they drink, well, we're going to do the salt cedar thing, not only do they drink up the water, they emit a salty substance which nothing else can grow around the area. They're very territorial.
Yeah, I noticed that.
And it's
when
very
we had
hard
the one,
to...
There was nothing else around it, and even that spot, we're a year and a half later, and it is still a little bit like dry, you should say, in that area.
You have to, as they say, amend the soil.
Yeah.
And so it's rough because they don't want to give up. And Athels, it's another one that drinks a lot of water. It's an evergreen, which is a cousin of the salt cedar. It doesn't move around as much as they do. It's not as prolific as the salt cedar, but it is very dangerous because the same amount of water that it uses. Is it on Wilson? Where's the old Binion property?
I think we should.
They have a tree line that's nothing but Athels.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yes.
Why don't we, in the coming weeks, so stay tuned, just one more reason to watch Community Viewpoint, we'll bring some visuals so we can we can go around and we can get some pictures. And
I'll try to get ML Robinson from the Cooperative Extension down here also, when he's not talking about scorpions. And,
I know.
and
The
other
guy
things.
that brought the big scorpions, you can probably find that show on YouTube. And before we close out, we just have a couple minutes left. I want to thank Jeff always for his hard work on the show. Without Jeff, we couldn't go on with this show. And thank him for putting all of our shows on YouTube. And you can find us on YouTube. Just type in Community Viewpoint, KPVM, and you can see all the episodes come up. And you can also see all the news segments come up for that. And if you want any more information about this plan with the wellhead protection or with the salt cedars, they can contact the NWRPO?
Yes.
Or go to the library.
Go to the library, call the NWRPO 727-7727. Hopefully we'll have Judge Lane on here in a week or two talking about they have some more grants from drug court. I was there just before I came here, and one of my good friends, Leslie, graduated, so congratulations. So he'll be on here in the coming weeks, and then we'll be talking about autism too.
Yes.
And things like that.
And before we go out, I want to also give the number for the Community Health Nursing Office is 751-7070 to go in and get more information about the Gardasil vaccine or the flu shot or any other information that they may have.
Commissioners meeting tomorrow morning, don't forget.
Happy Valentine's Day to my daughter Rosie.
Happy Condom Day, National Condom Day.
And
we repeat Sunday mornings,
Sunday morning
6:30?
at 6:30. How much time do we have? Just a second?
I think we're off the air.
Do we have just a second? Do we have just a second? We just want to let everybody know that our thoughts and prayers go out to all the families who have been suffering this week. And we have been as well, and we'd like to let everybody know that we are thinking of them.
Good night.